Hi, June.
Eileen,
Great presentation. Congratulations.
thank you very much.
Hey guys. Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, Frank, Ross,
Thank you.
for
Thank
your
you.
speech.
Good
Really
stuff,
great.
everybody.
Into Yas. Great speech.
They were all excellent, and yours was June too as well. It was I really like to see how your idea developed from the first time to today. It was very good.
Hi, Hero. How are you? Long time no talk. The powering good team of Hero, Radhika, and Yas. Long time no talk, guys. How are you?
Good to see you then.
Radhika, congratulations. Almost perfect presentation from Kojima-san. I haven't watched any videos yet, sorry. So I'll be watching after this.
I'm going to watch yours, Radhika, now as well.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I quite liked your speech, Elaine. Yeah, thank you very much for mentioning the intelligence database in your speech, Elaine.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to thank you, guys. So that's why Hideki, Hiroshi, especially Yas and Radhika for part of my speech. 50% came from the Powering Good team that we have. Because I'm not from technology, right? So the Powering Good team had a lot of influence on that speech. Thanks, Yas. Thanks so much. And I like your speech today. Pretty cool. Cool CEO.
All right, thank you everyone for coming back. 10 minutes has passed, so now we would like to move on to our next segment. If you are back, please turn on your camera that we know you are here. Thank you. And now moving on to Rod's segment, putting our purpose into play, and also the final takeaway session. So Rod, if you're ready, please start. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Well look, I know from experience that the part of what we have left to cover that I will enjoy most is hearing your takeaways, which are always so rich and it's, you know, and I think you too will enjoy hearing the main points that each of you have taken away from it. So I'll try to keep my comments brief, but I also, how can I put it? You know, on this topic of putting purpose into play, I'd like us to sort of kind of hit pause now that we're at the end of the program and sort of pull back up and try to put Gap K in sort of a broader perspective and maybe even position it appropriately in the context of your own lives and leadership journeys. So let me try to do this. The first point I'd like to make is, as evidenced by your presidential addresses, by many of the comments, by the executive session that we just had, you all understand very well that we as a species, we humans, we are at a very difficult moment in our journey, in our evolution. We are faced with challenges and problems of staggering proportion, of extraordinary complexity. And I don't know about you, but it does not take long for me when I'm by myself and I start thinking about this stuff to go to a very sad and very dark place. Because I also know, as I look at this wonderful assemblage of leaders in front of me, that all of us, we're among the most privileged in the world. You know, the majority, 99% of the world would kill to trade places with us. They are living under such dire circumstances on a daily basis. And a second point is I'm utterly convinced that the only hope we have as a species of getting some traction on these problems, of maybe turning things around, is if our large-scale global corporations, the ones that have the command of the kind of assets, financial, technological, information, and otherwise, like Hitachi has, take the lead. because the government's, it's just too complicated. I'm a guy who's, as you know, public sector, private sector, non-for-profit sector. They're hardworking people in all sectors who are trying their best, but government has become so complex. But it's not just that. Modern corporations, they are the greatest form of human organization that our species has ever created. There was nothing in history the likes of a Hitachi corporation, a Hitachi Limited, or an Apple, or any of these sort of big major, just the ability to command resources, the ability to line them, the ability to throw intellectual capital at problems, the ability to collaborate with others and try to do, it is our single best hope. Third point, but what I also know as someone who has been a student of leadership, a student of organization, all of my adult life, is that it is so hard for large, complex organizations to get their act together and mobilize their assets and resources in a way that actually makes a difference. You've heard the statistic, 70% of organizational change or strategy efforts fail. Most fail. And when you think about then, you put those 3 points together, you look at what's at stake, it just underscores how important it is that Hitachi truly achieved its vision of becoming an outstanding social innovation business. But on the other hand, just how hard a mountain it is going to be for Hitachi to climb and achieve that point and be in a position to provide real leadership to so many other stakeholders in getting them organized, enabling them, supporting them in tackling those problems. And fourth point, what should be obvious to you by their participation in this program is that senior leadership at Hitachi understands this and understands that no matter how aligned and effective they are, there's no way that they alone can mobilize a corporation of Hitachi's scale and complexity to go in the right direction. They know that at the end of the day, Hitachi's ability to achieve the objective is going to depend on whether or not a critical mass of the employees of Hitachi understand the purpose, understand what it takes to pull it together, are motivated to get after it, are willing to do the job of executing, et cetera, and they understand even more that the primary driver or the variable or the factor that will decide whether or not that happens or not is leadership, and not just leadership, but purpose-driven leadership. And so that's why GAP-K was designed the way that it was. Let me also, though, make another point, which if it hadn't dawned on you, it ought to. I've been affiliated now with Hitachi for a number of years, and I've been doing this GAP-K thing for a number of years. Out of the hundreds of thousands of employees that Hitachi has, out of the thousands that it has, Hitachi only does the GAP-K program once a year, and it only picks 30 leaders, roughly 30 leaders each year to go through the program. Now that says a whole lot about what your stakeholders think about you, think about your past performance, think about your current capabilities, and think about your potential to make a difference. And I'll be honest with you, we on the GAP-K team, it's victory. We will declare success if nothing happens except each one of you becomes that much more effective, that much more purpose-driven in your leadership. But let's be honest with each other, just the 30 of you, that's not enough to move the needle. And so that brings us to sort of the real purpose, if you will, of GAP-K. And it's not just to take 30 leaders and give them a special journey, help them get good at sort of understanding and clarifying their purpose and able to perform better as leaders. GAP-K fails and Hitachi becomes at risk at failing if you don't take what you've learned and truly then put purpose into play. And let me be there are many things that we mean by putting purpose into play, but let me just focus on one, the one that I think sort of matters the most. You are at different levels in your career. You're at different levels in Hitachi hierarchy. You represent various parts of Hitachi. There's already some number of people that each one of you has touched in your leadership and have helped become more motivated, more inspired themselves. And maybe even over the course of the GAP-K program, you've been working with your team members and taking the things that you've been learning and getting really sophisticated about helping other people around you find their purpose, helping teams find their purpose, helping organizations find their purpose. Our challenge to you, because so much is at stake, is whatever number you've helped in the past, can you double that in the next 6 months? Can you triple or quadruple that in the next few years? In other words, can you start to make a part of your purpose and ultimately a part of your legacy, not just the business results you get, not even just the traction you get on various social problems, but the number of other human beings working for Hitachi that you help find their purpose so that they can come to work every day, operating from their heart, operating with all of their being, and aligning with others who are doing the same in common concert to achieve these incredibly noble goals and objectives that Hitachi has. Can you do that? Can you take what you learned in GAP-K? Can you take what you've learned about how to help someone find purpose, how to help someone maintain growth mindset rather than fixed mindset, therefore willing to innovate, willing to experiment, willing to risk failure? Can you help them figure out how to engage in deliberate practice? Because none of us are perfect. We're all a combination of strengths and opportunities to get better. Can you help the people around you learn how to be more intentional in identifying where their performance gaps are, and then engaging in deliberate practice to improve those gaps, close those gaps, and the moment they've completed those, figure out what the next ones are and focus on those? Can you model that? Can you model growth mindset, deliberate practice constantly so that, again, it infects or you become a real shining light for all of those around you? At the end of the day, if you accept this type of challenge, if you push and I don't care how good you are, you may be very good at all of this already. And some of you are, I know from the time that I've spent with you. But no matter how good you are, the question I'm asking you is, are you willing to dig deeper and really push yourself to go to the maximum of your leadership capability and really hone your ability to not just get the people immediately around you, but again, to get every stakeholder that you interact with, to facilitate, engage with them in such a sophisticated way that you help each one of them identify their own purposes, even if they weren't thinking about that. You help all of them see where the opportunity is to align their purposes to be a part of contributing to something greater than perhaps they've ever contributed to before. If you are able to do that, not only do I believe that represents Hitachi's best chance of truly flourishing as a social innovation business, I also know for a fact that every person you help find their purpose, they will remember you for it because you will have made. Think about how much stronger and clearer you feel in your leadership and as a human being because of the reflection you've gone through over the course of GAP-K. Wouldn't it be a tremendous gift to be able to give that to every person that you come into contact with in Hitachi and in your life, to help them find theirs? Isn't that something worth us spending and investing our time in to help other human beings get that clear? So not only will Hitachi again benefit, but every person you help find their purpose, they will benefit. And then finally, I know from personal experience, because I've been privileged to have my work focus on that, I can tell you, I get paid to do what I do, coaching executives and leaders and trying to help them. But what my clients don't realize is I do the work for free because there's nothing I've ever done in my life that's more satisfying. And so I promise you, every leader, every person on your team and in your org that you touch in that personal way, help them on a heart-to-heart level, help them find their purpose, you're going to walk away from having done that truly fulfilled, truly that much more satisfied because you leaned in that way and made that kind of difference in that person's life. And I don't know about you, but when my end comes, when my time on this plane, this earth plane comes to a close and I'm in those last moments, if I'm privileged to be able to be reflective in that moment, if I can do nothing but look back and have some sense of all the lives that I've touched along the way, and by touched, I mean just in some small way, help them get clearer about who they were, what their gifts are, what their talents are, how they could make a difference, etc. I will go smiling into my death, a happy man, because I will know that my life actually meant something. So that's the challenge I leave you with. That's my sort of final message to you, just in case I never see you again. I hope you guys will stay in touch after this. I hope this isn't the last conversation we have. But again, please, please, please understand just how much Hitachi needs you to put purpose into play by activating as many other purpose-driven leaders across Hitachi as you possibly can. So now with that, let's, Yoko-san, can you advance us to the
Yes,
takeaway section?
sure. Okay, now I'm going to share the slides that I have here. Okay. Rod, can you see my slide?
I can, thank you very much. So what we'd like to do in a couple moments, we're going to give you a couple minutes to reflect on these two questions. And then we're going to have a closeout session where, again, we invite each one of you to share. You know, you can reflect on these two questions, but because in the interest of time, we're going to ask you to just pick one of these. Either a key takeaway or the one thing that you are willing to commit to. You'll each have a minute. We really implore you to help us manage time so that we can sort of reach closure sort of at the right point. Or at the right time, and not roll over or not go over. But take a couple of minutes to reflect. I'll then start to call on you and give you each an opportunity to share. Once we finish with the sharing, then we're going to hear a few words from Sakota-san and from Maru-san and Yoko-san, and they'll close us out. Okay. I hope that was enough time. So let me see. Let's try to start perhaps with some voices we haven't had the chance to hear enough from today. How about Hideki-san? Would you be willing to start us off?
Oh, okay. Yeah, my key takeaway, I understand the importance of purpose-driven management. And meanwhile, today, the Kojima-san mentioned we need to amend the gap between the purpose and the execution. So to amend this gap, I will try to get the skill set and with human empathy. That is my takeaway from gap.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much. Enzo.
So I will talk about first of all, this was a great experience. I am happy to have it, even virtually. I was missing seeing all of you, but it's a great experience. Give me time to think things that was stopped on time in my mind. So it is actually a very deep one. And I will talk about the commitment. And I would like to say that, my commitment is to keep in touch with all of you and to see how we can transform Hitachi from product-centric to customer-centric. I'm going to do it first in my region and see how we can interact with different Hitachi company, but all of you are key stakeholders in other companies or in my same company in other regions. So I think my commitment will be to continue having this conversation about how to change our mind to customer-centric and service-centric that was also mentioned by Kojima-san today. That is my commitment as a leader. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Hiro-san.
At first, usually I didn't deeply consider about the leadership so far. So of course I never consider about the my purpose. So through this gap K, I learned that the importance of the purpose driven leadership. I will act try to act as a leader in the future, and then I want to improve our team members' skills and contribute to others. That is my comment. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Yoshiko-san.
Yes, the key takeaway from this Gap K program is that actually I have to say that I didn't have enough time or enough opportunity to think about my purpose and company purpose deeply. So I have to say that the thinking about my purpose is sometimes involve the pain. I mean, I still feel like I really found my really deep, profound the purpose. And I have said that I found that it's continuous journey, and I continuously hone the purpose, even if the world is not changing largely, but to think about profoundly to link to the company or the social. It's still long journey, I have to say.
Yes, very much so. Thank you so much. Shin.
Yes. と I am deep understanding for myself from Gap K program. Then the takeaway point is it is always modifies my purpose according to the changing society and our growth, and continuously inspire the team member on my own every time. It is my takeaway point. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Radhika.
Yeah, I have to say, I think the entire emphasis on purpose really gets you introspecting much more, putting the focus on purpose and making that the center of everything that you do, right? I mean, it's very profound in the way that you approach things in general. So, I feel like that was literally like paradigm shifting personally for me. So that's my biggest takeaway and what I intend to adhere to moving forward.
Excellent. Thank you. John?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I think a lot of the tools, the communication, the way to be able to get people to see, what their purpose is, what is driving them, how it potentially can and will be or is aligned with what the company's goals are. I'm a big thing on, the additive aspect. It's not an either or. You can do both. And clearly, if we can get folks to see that you don't have to make a hard decision, but you can accomplish more by, doing one thing that satisfies many needs, we're all going to win. And just continuing to drive that is a big piece that I took away from this.
Excellent. Thank you. Lynn.
Yes, thank you so much, Rod. Thank you, everyone. At first, as Enzo said, I'm really glad to meet everyone in class. I'm so sorry we're not face to face. I think we may be able to do that sometime. So yes, talking to Rod and revisiting my purpose, I think I would like to continue to challenge the business, to transform the business through maximizing talent. I'm in the talent development space. So truth be told, Cards on the Table, GapK is one of the programs. And attending this and seeing everyone in GapK actually proves that my purpose is actually in the right direction. So you all inspired me. Every one of you inspired me. I'm in the right track. It was my commitment and decision to move to Japan and contribute to leadership development. And seeing everyone here, it really confirmed that I'm in the right direction. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you. Ma.
So regarding my takeaway, maybe I will use just two keywords. The first is, of course, the purpose, which means that, as I already mentioned, you could align your personal will and also the personal purpose with the social and the company purpose. That is most important. And second keyword is about the leadership. Just in the one-to-one session, you mentioned that probably leadership not only comes from the position you hold, but also from your own purpose, your passion, your driven force. So that is most important. So I will try to carry out the kind of the purpose-driven leadership in the next activity in my work. Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Masa-san.
Yeah, thank you for taking me to the great journey this time. The program, the GapK is totally different from others because this focus on the my own purpose also, and then that's remind myself why I'm in Hitachi now and what want to do in Hitachi clearly. Then I commit to keep in touch you guys and encourage every people around myself to support social innovation business in Hitachi strongly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hida-san.
Yep. Well, yeah, so I knew actually purpose is important, but from this program, I got more understanding. So what is a purpose-driven leadership? And why the leadership links to personal experience and challenge? So team wants to know who is the leader and why they should follow the leader beyond just a level train. So we need to show purpose with their personal head and their experience, which face a critical challenge and overcome life, and leverage that experience for our direction. That's my understanding, my critical understanding from this program, and also one-on-one coaching session with Rob. Thank you. And my commitment itself is that Kojima-san mentioned that I will keep enhance my purpose and execute it that in agile way with my grit and speed. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Roz.
Thank you. So first of all, I'd just like to say I was deeply touched by this program, and I really appreciate the effort that our GapK program leaders have put together to make this program, because I think it's been very essential to my leadership within Hitachi. So I'm just so grateful. My commitment will be to being in Hitachi Rail, an Australian region. Sometimes, given where the location we are in Australia, we're a little bit disconnected, and we officially were disconnected for the last 2 years, if I can make that joke. But is to really continue on and educate all the resources and the team within Hitachi Rail of our purpose, and have intentional communications with each. I think, you know, the communication aspect of this has been fantastic. And also when the next midterm management plan comes up, I'm really committed to flowing that down and having sessions, town halls with the Hitachi Rail crew in Australia to let them know how they fit in the wider picture, because I think we can improve upon that significantly, the wider picture of our purpose, mission, and even from a sustainability aspect as well. So I think if we all start talking about that, I think that's really important.
Excellent. Naga-san.
Hi, thank you very much, everyone. So that my takeaway is I recognize that I'm not a real leader. Yeah, so that I was just chasing that the sales and the profit and the loss. Those kind of that, you know, the leadership is not real. So that I recognize that the importance of that purpose-driven leadership. And then that my commitment is to keep training for the to become real purpose-driven leaders. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Jun.
Hi, first of all, thank you, Rod, and coordinators and these classmates. So people inspired me a lot. So it was very good opportunity to revisit my own purpose, why I was born here, why I'm working in Hitachi, and how I want to die at the end. So it's kind of a never-ending journey to enhance my own purpose and connecting to the leadership purpose. And I would like to continue to meet with great leaders continuously and learn from them, and then enhance my own purpose, and then apply it to the daily work, and then inspire other people. So that's kind of my commitment. Thank you, everyone.
Excellent, excellent. Ryuji, son?
Yeah, thank you, everyone. How to say, very short, I learned a lot. So, and for my key takeaway, you know, I learned from the one-on-one with Rod-san, and you know, for my purpose is still not clear, and not incorporated in my body. So, but so we think about the end of my day, last day, and you know what we want to think, what we left to the world, and yeah, that is you know, to I think we keep every day, every single day we will keep. I should keep. So that's my journey to seek my purpose. That's what kind of my takeaway, and my commitment is similar to, you know, it's to realize my purpose and to achieve my, you know, get to my purpose. It's, you know, we will not regret not doing what we should do, what I should do. So yeah, that's my, you know, my commitment, you know, here. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yas.
Yes, what I realized through these classes is that having clear purpose makes my life much easier. Of course, it's difficult to set a clear purpose, but after setting the clear purpose, it just cleared my way. So my commitment after this class is that I would, of course, keep trying to be a purpose-driven leader, but at the same time, I would convey this experience to my team members. So at the same time, I would be also a purpose-driven teacher as well. That's my commitment. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you. And Frank, I believe I'm asking you to bring us home.
Right. First of all, I think I realized that importance and the power of a platform like this. Right? There's several things that I've learned, and going last, I don't want to repeat anything that anybody has said. There are several things that I've learned, including the interactions with people that I would not have worked with in a regular job, right? In my regular day-to-day job. And I kind of realized that it is important for us to have these kinds of interventions between work. And I see the value of providing something like this to my team. If each of us as senior leaders have benefited so much, then I think it's important for me personally to make sure that I make a similar platform like this available to my team. Right? And maybe one ask to the GapK team, it would be great if you can bring us together in person whenever. I'm sure a lot of people would love it. It would be fantastic if you guys could find a way to bring us together in person. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank all of you. Incredibly thoughtful comments. I suspected that they would be after having, again, the privilege to spend time in one-on-ones with you. It has been an honor to get to know you and to work with you over these past 4 months. And let me also just take this opportunity, a point of personal privilege, to thank the Hitachi GapK team, who you just have no idea the amount of work and effort they put in to making GapK a success each year. They make it so easy for me to come in and just do my little bit because they're just so tight and focused on all of the elements of excellence for this program. So you guys were in good hands through it all. I imagine you felt that. And we do hope that you got a ton out of that. So herewith, I will shut up and turn it over to Mari-san and Yoko-san and let them bring you home.
Okay, thank you very much, Rod, and thank you everyone for your final takeaway comments. Now we are going to use the last 10 minutes to do some final announcements. We will start sharing our final announcement slides. Okay, thank you. And I would like to start by informing you that there will be a follow-up after this GapK program. And this follow-up will be conducted within your Powering Good Projects group. And we will inform you via email how we would like you to conduct this. And we will ask you to set up 2 meetings. The first one in March and the second one is in June. And we will give you all the instructions that you would need. So please wait for us to send you the emails to each group. And moving on to the next. This is the Module 3 evaluations, which we require for you to submit. I just sent you the link in the chat box as well. So if you can, please click on it right now and fill it in. And if you miss this, don't worry, because we will send you an email with the link information later on as well. Moving on to the next. And again, congratulations on completing the GapK program. It has been a very long journey for you, I believe. And here is the certification, e-certification that we will distribute to each participants. And in the middle in red, it says GapK participants, but we will put your full name in there. And so that you will see when you receive it. Now, I would like to ask if there are any final announcements from your end, from any participants here.
Can I ask a question just for clarification? So in terms of the follow-up session in March and June, and it will be conducted within the Powering Good project group, but it's not the follow-up of the Powering Good project itself, right?
It does include the Powering Group project itself, but also like a entire recap of the program about what you have learned and also what you would want to progress yourself as a purpose-driven leader as well.
Got
Hope
it.
you answered your question.
Yeah, thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. Anything else?
I will speak on behalf of the CEOs, Yoshiko-san, John, and myself. We really enjoyed having the first networking meeting, and we promise you a second one. So we will try to schedule anyway by the end of June January, just to rephrase a little bit and share a little bit. So I know we promised that the holidays kind of brushed the idea out of our minds, but we will follow up with that. So Mari, sorry to ask. I know Gap K is already over almost, but please just help me to set up the final one, okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, glad to hear from you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Officer.
Thank you, Enzo. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, Enzo. And we are more than happy to assist you in planning this, planning your next networking session.
Thank you.
All right. Then shall we move on to our next segment? We will have our president, Hitachi Academy's president, Raizo Sakura, to make the final closing remarks for this program. Sakura-san, would you be able to share your screen?
Okay, wait a moment.
Thank you.
Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your participation in this Gap program. I'm very honored to be here to see all of you have completed this program. These 2 years, we had a very tough time because of COVID-19. Traveling and face-to-face meeting are restricted. So we have to provide this program virtually. But the class was a success thanks to your dedicated participation. I believe you had a great opportunity to learn and discuss with diverse and very talented colleagues. I'd like to confirm the objective of this program. Why are we here? Why are we working for Hitachi? You learned the importance of purpose. As Kojima-san emphasized earlier, it is a source of passion. Also, it is a driving force for execution. Without it, you can't move people. You can't lead a change. As you learned here, there are 3 aspects: yourself, society, and Hitachi. And the integrated purpose is a key. As many of you mentioned in your speech, please keep Hitachi's mission in your mind. It is contribute to society through the development of superior original technology and products. It is like the pole star to show us the direction. We should make the world better. It's our mission. That is why we work for Hitachi. Now it's time for change. You should put your purpose into action and make it happen. I'd like to ask 2 more things. Now you are not alone. You are not just a group of participants, but one team to make the world better. Please keep in touch and continue to work together. Also, you should never stop learning to become a great leader. Please enjoy and continue your learning journey. You are selected. You are a selected leader of Hitachi. You should lead the change for the company and the society. I believe you can do it. Congratulations. Here, I'd like to give you the virtual certificate. And finally, on behalf of participants, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to Rod, our facilitator, Ranjay, Kojima-san, and other executives, and all supporters of this program. And participants, thank you again. I appreciate your dedication and great effort. I wish you a great success. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sakura-san. And now we are closing this session very, very soon. But before we do so, there is a video, a short video that we would like to show you. I hope you enjoyed our small gift in the very end. Thank you for your applause. Now it is time for us to close this final session. Again, thank you very much for your active participation and all of your dedicated work towards this program. I appreciate your participation, and hopefully we can stay connected and see each other in the near future very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so
Keep in touch.
Thank you very much.
See you
Take
again.
care.
See
Bye.
Have a wonderful year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Sorry.
バイバイ。よろしくお願いします。
Thank you. ありがとうございます。
Thank you.